Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may now be seated.
Good morning, Cats. Minju, do you think the voting age should be lowered to 16?
Yeah, definitely. That way we can be more engaged in politics.
Well, stay tuned in today's show to see how a group of teenagers are trying to get the voting age lowered. I'm Ananya.
And I'm Minju Cho, and West Range TV starts right now.
If you are taking Spanish and are passionate about studying the language, then you may be interested in joining Spanish Honor Society. The first meeting of the school year is today at lunch in room 541, and it is mandatory for both previous members and new members to attend. Another great way to get involved on campus is by joining West Ranch Hip Hop. Auditions are today in the dance room from 3 to 5 p.m. Also remember that all damage report forms need to be returned to the library by this Friday.
If you're concerned about the college application process, our counselors will provide college information this Thursday at 6 p.m. in West Range Theater. Please attend if interested. If you're looking for a club to join, CSF might be just for you. The applications are now available on Ms. Alarz's website. They will be collected on September 6th and 7th. Also, don't forget that off-campus stickers are now available in the SRC building.
If you want to play a sport but don't necessarily want to try out for a West Ranch team, then make sure to sign up for the 4-on-4 flag football intramural activity before Friday. Coach Garcia and Coach Conrad will be in front of the ASB office at brunch and lunch to help you sign up. Congratulations, seniors, on winning last week's spirit competition. Make sure to bring your ID cards at lunch to receive your ice cream prize. They will be passed out by the flagpole.
Homecoming is in less than a month, and tickets go on sale tomorrow in the ASB office. Prices start at $60 with an ASB card and $70 without. You can purchase tickets online or in the ASB office. Seniors, tomorrow's the last day to purchase your senior VIP package. Pay online or in the ASB office. This past summer, our reporter Savannah Burrows traveled to Washington, D.C. to be a part of the PBS Student Reporting Lab workshop. During her workshop, she worked with students from around the country to produce a story about lowering the voting age to 16. Let's take a look at what she produced.
Tomorrow is going to be Anita Bond, she's at large, David Grasso.
16-year-old Tiffany Musembe is the leader of Vote 16 DC, a coalition of youth and adults who are fighting to extend voting rights to 16 and 17-year-olds in Washington, D.C. What do you say to adults who think that 16-year-olds aren't mature enough to vote?
I list out all the facts on why we should vote to these adults that might be against us. I tell them that we drive, we work, we pay taxes. Also, we're developed enough to make an informed decision in the ballot box.
Vote 16 DC is advocating for the Youth Vote Amendment Act of 2018, a bill introduced by City Councilman Charles Allen in April.
Well, if I can get you in high school starting to vote, when you're probably taking civics and government classes, and you're truly engaged, and I get you voting, more likely those 16 and 17-year-olds are going to be voting at age 18 and 20 and 22 and throughout their life. And that's ultimately what we want for our democracy, a highly engaged, highly informed electorate.
Back in 2015, Councilman Allen introduced the Youth Vote Amendment Act, but the bill failed to get any traction. Today, Allen and youth organizers like Tiffany are starting the process once again. But what's happening right now is approximately 150 people are listening to testimonies for or against the bill in front of the Committee of Judiciary and Public Safety. If the committee approves the bill, then it will be sent to the full DC Council for consideration.
By lowering the voting age to 16, you're giving more of a voice to the youth in DC, but also the Black community, especially those east of the river. I believe the voting age should be lowered because the youth are heavily affected by policies implemented in our communities.
Almost 50 years since Congress passed the 26th Amendment, young people are once again trying to change the status quo. Have you encountered students who are not interested in voting?
I have, and it's actually really sad to me because the number one answer that they give me when I ask them why don't they believe in this is because they say nobody's going to listen to us. That our current public education system needs to. If we lowered the voting age, kids would be more eager to come to school and they would be more eager to go out in the community because they know they have a say. And once they extend the voting laws to us, then politicians and council members, they have to come to us because we matter then. They have to have our vote.
For PBS NewsHour Student Reporting Labs, I'm Xavier Dominguez in Washington, D.C.
With midterm elections coming up in November, our reporter Lucas had the chance to talk to Mrs. Arrowsmith to give her thoughts on why the youth vote is important. Lucas?
All right, thanks guys. I'm here with Mrs. Arrowsmith. So, Ms. Arrowsmith, in your opinion, do you think that the youth voting age should be decreased to 16?
That's a tough one, Lucas, and I'm actually not sure, and I know that's not a good answer. Historian Carol Birkin points out that the founders created the Constitution for people with a stake in government, and they defined stake as owning property, and we've since expanded that. And I know that 16 and 17-year-olds have a stake, but they're also not independent. And that was another qualification that the founders thought in terms of who should participate and who should vote, being an independent person. So that is a tough one. I know that young people have a stake in government because they are beholden to all of the rules and regulations that adults make on their behalf, and they should have more of a say. And I know that some places are piloting the youth vote, so I don't have a good answer for that, and I'm sorry, but that is a tough one. That's a tough one.
So this year is an election year. How do you think the youth vote will change the look of the government?
It depends how much of the youth vote shows up. The youth vote has incredible potential, and it really is up to the 18 to 25-year-old group to actualize their own potential and get out there and have their voices heard. Old people vote reliably. Young people don't. And if young people want government to serve them, they need to say, we are out here in force and our voice matters. Listen to us, serve us. So it depends on how much of the youth vote actually gets out there and votes.
All right, thank you so much, Mrs. Arrowsmith. Back to the anchors in the studio. Thank you so much.
That's all for today's show. Stay tuned tomorrow as we'll get a chance to hear about this year's homecoming dance. My name is Minju Cho.
And I'm Ananya. Have a great rest of your day, cats.